In this video, I'm going to share with you an ancient technique that will give you the power to transform your reality. I'm going to be explaining what this technique is, as well as sharing with you how you can use it in your own life so that you can take the life that you daydream about and bring it into your lived experience. Now, this isn't just random ideas I'll be sharing with you. It's the exact process that I used to dramatically change two different areas of my own life. The first time I used it, I took myself from a failed college athlete to making a world championship team and becoming an elite athlete. The second time I used it, I was able to dramatically change my relationship pattern. I used to be constantly rejected, interacting with wishy-washy people who are unsure about me. And after using and understanding this process and technique, I was able to attract a sustainable, safe, and reliable connection with somebody I am over the moon about. So let me now show you how you can do this too. First, you're going to need to understand how reality actually works. This brilliant illustration is going to represent you. Now, above you is going to be your subconscious belief. And over here, this is going to represent the fabric of reality. Now, you can see that everything exists. We know that in quantum physics, it says that every possible experience exists right now, but we can't see it because it's in the realm of wave, of potential, meaning that it's not visible with our eyes. And what collapses the potential into your 3D reality and the thing that you actually experience in your reality and interact with in matter is where you put your energy or what you're observing, even if that observation is unconscious. Now, your subconscious mind is not filled with facts. It's filled with experiences that you've been through, even if you don't remember this, and don't worry, you can change it even if you can't remember. But your subconscious is basically a collection of past experiences, okay? You put a meaning or a story on why that past experience happened to you. Maybe somebody treated you really bad. Maybe they didn't meet your need for love and connection. And just overall, you had a really bad, painful experience. Because you were a kid at the time, most likely, your brain wasn't fully developed. And you basically put a meaning or a label of why that person treated you that way or why that experience happened to you. And you took that as a belief, a very strong opinion. But that does not mean that it's fact. An outside experience can be internally experienced completely different. That's why maybe you have a sibling who had the same parent, yet they don't have the beliefs that you do, the limiting beliefs. It's because everyone's experience happens on the internal realm, and whatever's happening in there is what's going to get stored in here. Now, why the subconscious and your limiting beliefs are so important right now if you're experiencing painful relationship dynamics, not enough money, consistent rejection of some kind, some sort of experience you don't want anymore, is because the subconscious mind is basically the pair of glasses that you're looking through. I know it's almost hyper-realistic art, isn't it? These beliefs are the filters of how you're seeing your reality, okay? So whatever's in here is what you're going to find. So if you feel that you're not lovable, you're not enough, even though love exists where people would show up and they would show you your true value, you can't perceive of those because you don't have the glasses, you don't have the beliefs that line up for them. So you keep perceiving of that rejection. You keep attracting, you keep being drawn to people who aren't emotionally available. Now, maybe it's about money, even though experiences exist for you to be treated and respected for your true value, all you can perceive of and line up with is the experiences that show you the opposite. And again, the same about happiness, whatever it is. Now, our perceptions literally is how we see and experience reality. And even though you might consciously want the love and want to see it, your subconscious is filtering through between 20 to 50 million pieces of information per second, but it only allows into your little lenses 40 into your conscious mind, what you're going to line up with your beliefs. Again, this is not a doomsday. I want you to understand this because then you're going to understand how important the technique is and how powerfully it can shift your life because the experiences exists right now. Your perceptions will block out anything that doesn't align with your beliefs. And sometimes you might actually perceive of that amount of money or that person who gives you the attention. But have you ever experienced a situation where maybe somebody gives you a compliment or maybe you get a raise and you feel uncomfortable? You're like, whoa, something's wrong. They're gonna find out that I'm not really that person that they like, or I'm not really valuable, almost like you're gonna get in trouble. This is because your beliefs don't align with that external treatment of you. And it usually is very short-lived. You'll eventually not resonate with it, and that energy will be pushed away to stay in your comfort zone, to stay in that image you hold of yourself. Now, the power of neuroplasticity means that you can literally rewire your brain. Whatever you're going to start firing and wiring is going to give you the new lenses, so it's going to update this, and then you'll be able to perceive of it. But so often people think that their outside reality is reflecting the truth of themselves. But what you've got to understand to start tapping into this technique that I'm about to share with you is that your outside experience is not a fact of yourself. It is a reflection of an idea you hold about yourself. Really, it's a misunderstanding. I want to say that again. Your external situation right now, no matter what's happening, is not a fact of your worth or your value. It is simply reflecting an experience that you had and a perspective you have of yourself that ultimately is a misunderstanding of your true essence. And what I'm going to show you now how to do is, rather than look to reality and look into your outside experience to show you who you are, I'm going to show you how you can use reality as a feedback system to update and resolve these old misunderstandings. Now, this ancient technique is going to come from Hermes Trismegistus, who's an ancient mystic. The principles of Hermeticism come from like the 1st century AD. Basically, all you need to know is this is the OG of manifestation, of reality, of consciously creating your reality. And that principle is cause and effect. And it states, every cause, and so the cause is going to be your subconscious beliefs. The cause, for every cause, there is an effect, there is a result, there is an experience from your outside reality. Realize this is not the cause to these internal feelings. These internal beliefs happening from a misunderstanding, from a time you didn't have a fully developed brain. These beliefs are what is finding this effect, this result. So it goes from here to here. And most people, the big mistake they make is they think the outside is why they feel that way. The outside is just repeating the pattern. If this video is resonating and you want a little bit more help and support to apply this to your own life, I have reopened my calendar to work one-on-one together. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me, there's going to be a link in the description. It's going to take you to a form. You're going to fill that out, and I will reach out to you to set up a time where we can work one-on-one together so I can help you apply this directly to your life, and you can start letting go of all the bullshit that has been holding you back, and you can consciously create the life you daydream about. Go ahead and click the link below, and I'll see you soon. So the principle of cause and effect states, every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. So now what I want to share with you is some of my experiences on reading this the opposite way. Most people start outside and they say, that's the reason I'm not feeling good enough. That person rejected me. That's why I don't feel good enough. That's why I don't feel lovable. Not understanding there is a pre-existing pattern, a pre-existing energetic imprint. And that's why you actually keep finding or attracting or being drawn to people who will keep repeating that because that is familiar. Remember, you can change this. At any moment, at any second, you can say, that's actually not me. And you can start to update. So let me show you an example from my own life so that you can understand this. So what was happening in my own life for so long is because I felt that I wasn't good enough unless I had some sort of trophy or some sort of proof that I was valuable to other people, because I had that idea in my head from early on misunderstandings of my environment and thinking I was the reason that my needs weren't getting met, or I needed to go and achieve in order to be lovable. Because I had that program or that condition, and no one directly told me that, but that was my perception of how things worked, of how I'd get my needs met, of how I could fit in and be loved and get the connection as a kid that you need. It's the most important thing because it's heavily linked to survival. So what I kept finding is people who were emotionally unavailable. I kept finding people who really weren't sure about me, and I kept working harder, and I kept trying to prove myself, and I kept just constantly giving and giving and giving. So all my attention was over here trying to interact and change this reality. I wasted so much time and effort, and I kept attracting because nothing up here changed. I kept thinking that if I could get them to love me, and then I'd feel different. So I thought the cause was out here, and this was the effect I was looking for. This was the result I wanted to change. But what I learned, and what the law of cause and effect shows us, if you want to change this, you've got to go to these unconscious beliefs. And for me, what I had to start realizing is, I keep finding emotionally unavailable people because emotionally, when I was hurting and I wanted soothing and I wanted connection, what was I doing? I was seeking outside myself. I was leaving or abandoning myself for the other person. And what does that mean? I accidentally, unbeknownst to me, was emotionally abandoning myself. And so what did I see a reflection of? The same emotional abandonment. And I kept doing this over and over and over until I realized, if I want to make a change, it has to be within me. And you can use this in so many different aspects. If it's right now about money and you keep thinking, oh gosh, I got to get that money. I don't have what I need unless I've got that money. What you've got to understand is, okay, what are my beliefs about having my needs met? Who do I have to be? Do people always forget me? Did I always get overlooked or feel, even if you just perceived early on as a kid that you weren't important, that you didn't get your needs met, that there wasn't quite enough for you? Maybe your parents were really busy. Maybe your siblings had a lot going on. At the end of the day, you weren't getting your needs met. So the imprint as a kid could be there's never enough for me. So rather than seeing the issue being about money, the issue is about you resolving that inner misunderstanding. The thing you really have to start understanding is however you were treated, whatever way, that adult emotionally did not have the capacity, maturity, or understanding to meet your need. You were not the limitation in the dynamic. You wanted to connect, you needed to connect. So whatever was limited or unavailable in that environment was not because of you. We're not blaming the caretaker. They're a human being. They had their own shit going on. But if you could just start seeing, this entire time, I thought it was me. I thought if I was better, if I did all the things, then they would be happy and then they would have connected. They didn't have that ability. So cause and effect, the outside is a reflection. How can you start taking your energy rather than doing this? Because this is what I did. I stopped looking outside of me. And yeah, it was difficult. So understanding to stop searching outside of yourself. And if you have a pattern where no matter who the other person is, no matter what job you go to, no matter what situation you're in, it's the same repeating story, start to just become aware of the story. Because what that's going to do is stop the idea and the delusion that the answer is outside of you. The answer is within you. The answer is always within you. Even right now, I'm trying to share for you to understand, in tune with the wisdom inside of you. You are always healing you. People outside of you can help, but you're always your greatest teacher. So when you learn to start putting the energy back inside and start becoming aware of yourself, start tapping into introspection. Oh, interesting. I find this person, they're not emotionally available. I really want to go and beg them to give me that connection. What do I need right now? I need connection. I need support. I need to be with myself. That broke the pattern. I stopped having the impulse, and sometimes I still do, and I become aware, and I do my best to bring my energy back. It has reduced my suffering and stress so much, even in difficult situations. Having the ability to read your dynamics as cause and effect will dramatically change your life, but you're still missing how to actually remove the beliefs once you find them. Well, watch this next video right here for a step-by-step guide for how you can remove any limiting belief that you find so that you can start experiencing the life that you really deserve. Check it out right here.